Welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. Today we're continuing on the Porsche 911. So today what we're going to be doing is having a look at the serpentine belt. I think some of the pulleys, it could be the pulleys, the idle pulleys, worst case scenario it's the water pump or the alternator that's making a bit of a noise. I can hear this sort of whirring noise when the belt's going round. So what we're going to do first of all is get this air filter out the way. So if you get all this air filter out the way, you can just see the top of the alternator there, but you can start to see a lot more. So let's get this out the way. So to get the filter out, you need to take the map sensor off there, disconnect that and put it somewhere safe. Pull out the oil filler, disconnect the tube onto the throttle body, and then that is it. And then we're just going to try and wriggle it out. Now we can suddenly see a lot more. A lot more. Come and have a look. So now we can see everything we want to see. We've got the alternator here. We've got one idle pulley there. One idle pulley there. Interestingly, it's got one of the new plastic ones on it. So a metal one, a plastic one. And then that's the actual tensioner there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the engine up, which you can do without this on. And I'm just going to tie that up out of the way so we don't get that to rub on the pulley. I'm going to start it up and put a listening device on, stethoscope, and start to listen to see where the noise is coming from. So we've got the engine started now, and I'm going to listen to it with this. I'm going to see if I can get the noise on the microphone. So this is a good bearing. And you listen to this. I can actually feel the vibration through my hand. So slightly annoyingly, it's actually the tensioner pulley. So I'm going to see how I can get that off and have a look at it and see if we can get some lubricant. And this is the top one. So what I'm going to do is a temporary permanent fix is actually grease the bearings. These actually brand new, I think, are £170 at Design 911 for a genuine one and about 70 for a second-hand one. So really, even, sorry, not second-hand one, a non-branded one. So even just replacing those three, you're looking at £210 for a slight niggly noise. So what you need to do basically is just get this, I've already done this one, just pry it off like that. And then you can get inside, and now you can hear and see how dry this bearing is. Now the only issue I've got is I can't get to the bearing on the other side. I can't get that cap off. So it's a case of just trying to pack the grease through to the other side and hope when it gets warm it's going to move around, which obviously is a big if. But surely I'm working on the assumption some grease in there is going to be better than none. So let's see what we can get in and start to work it into the bearing. It's just really a case of forcing it in. I was contemplating cleaning it out with WD-40, but then really I could end up washing more out and leaving some of the WD-40 in, and therefore sort of minimising the effect of the oil I'm putting in. So I'm just going to pack that in like that, try and work it in, rotate it round, pack more in, and just keep working it in like that. Right, so when I've got enough grease packed in like that, I'm just going to put the cap back on. You can feel a bit of a positive click as it goes on, and then wipe the surplus off. Now this is the one that actually came off the adjuster pulley, the tensioner, which was the noisiest of the lot. So let's see how we can get this cap off. So you can just have a look down here. Tease the seal out like that, and you can see that is pretty dry and the cage is rattling around in there. You can just see that there. So what we're going to do is just pack some of this in. Actually, I can feel this one feels. You can probably even hear that yourself now. Right, even at that point it's quieter than it was. And then this last one, these are ones that you can't actually push the plastic bearings out. Let's see if we can still get the cap off this so I can get some grease in it. And on this one is a bit better because you can actually get them off both sides. So we can actually nicely pack this one. Right, so I'm just going to clean these up and then get them back on the car. So I hit a bit of a snag. This one that's noisy, even though I've pumped it full of grease, it's still very noisy, listen. And it's very gritty. And every now and again, it'll catch. There. So I don't want to take the chance that that's going on. So I've ordered a new bearing for it. However, I've only got 2 days before I go to Le Mans. And the bearing will come in 3 days. So I have a problem. Luckily I have a Boxster on the drive. So I'm going to borrow this out of the Boxster. Okay, so it's handy when you've got two cars the same on the drive, and that the 986 and the 996 share a lot in common. So I've managed to rob this pulley off the 986. Yep, crap all over my face again. So let me show you where it is on the 986, because if you think the 996 is bad, obviously the 996, the engine is at the back with the gearbox in the middle. The 986, they actually got it the right way round and put the gearbox at the back and made it mid-engine. However, it means that is the access you've got to the pulleys from this inspection hatch. So I've actually had to get in there and drop that pulley there, and that's the one off the 986. So I need to put all this back together, make sure this still runs because this is still the backup car. So panic over now. We're now at the point we can start to rebuild it back on, because we've borrowed the parts off the 986 Boxster. So let's start to put this back together, if we can remember how it goes back together. So we'll put this one on first. No, it's going to run a bit like that because the map sensor's off and the air filter's off, but that does sound quieter. So let's have a listen. Right, I think that'll do for that episode. What I'm going to do is order a bearing. When I get the new bearings in, I'll do another episode where we actually show you pushing the bearings out, because again, just phoned this place up, the bearings are £10 including VAT, so £30 for 3 bearings versus 210 for